Morning in Peppa Pig's house began with eerie silence. Sunlight streamed through the curtains, but no laughter or footsteps. Peppa woke up on her top bunk. George lay below, eyes open, staring at the ceiling. He didn't move. Panicked, Peppa ran to her parents' room. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig lay still, eyes open and lifeless. She tried to wake them, no response. The house was deathly quiet, broken only by her own breathing. Outside, the world was frozen. Empty streets, no birds, no sounds. And then, a figure, tall, thin, in a red jumpsuit with a black mask marked by a circle. It slowly approached, stopping at the gate. Peppa fled back inside, hiding under the bunk bed beside George. She heard slow, echoing steps. The figure entered the house, closer, closer, then stopped. A mechanical voice whispered, "Game." Peppa opened her eyes. The figure stood above her, extending a hand. On its palm, a small wooden whistle. She took it. It was cold. The figure left. Alone, Peppa blew the whistle. A strange sound echoed through her. George blinked. So did Mummy and Daddy Pig. They moved, slowly, unnaturally. Their eyes remained blank. They didn't look at her, but through her. The whistle hadn't revived them. It had activated them. Now they were part of something, part of the game. So was she. The whistle was no longer a toy. It was a key to a world with alien rules and unimaginable stakes. The house filled with sound again. Not laughter, but the eerie rhythm of movement and soulless stares. The game had begun, and everyone was just a pawn.
Lost episode of Peppa Pig that never aired. A sunny day illuminated Peppa Pig's house, filling it with familiar laughter. Peppa and George played in their room, where a bunk bed stood against the wall. George on the bottom, Peppa on top. Mummy Pig cooked in the kitchen, and Daddy Pig read the newspaper in the living room. Everything was as usual, but a slight, almost imperceptible tension hung in the air. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Susie Sheep stood on the threshold, but her gaze was unusually blank and her movements stiff. She didn't smile as always, and didn't jump with joy. Suddenly, Spider-Man appeared on the roof of the house, his suit torn and dirty. He looked very tired and scared. Spider-Man slowly descended the wall, his movements uncertain. He peered into the window, his eyes full of anxiety. The Pig family froze, watching him. No one understood what was happening. An ominous silence hung in the air. In the shadow of the trees behind the house, a dark, shapeless shadow flickered. It moved quickly and silently, approaching the house. The shadow was huge and menacing, its outlines resembling something terrible. It glided to the back door like a ghost. The Pig family felt a chill down their spines. This was something very frightening. Daddy Pig, trying to be brave, slowly approached the door. His heart pounded in his chest. He carefully opened the door, peering outside. There was no one behind the door, only silence. Daddy Pig felt relief, but it was short-lived. Something was wrong. Suddenly, Venom burst from around the corner of the house, his black mass swaying. He was huge and terrifying, his eyes burning with an ominous fire. Venom let out a terrifying roar that made the windows rattle. He moved with incredible speed, heading towards the house. The Pig family was terrified. Spider-Man, seeing Venom, tried to warn the pigs. He shouted, but his voice was weak and hoarse. He tried to break through to them, but his strength was failing. Venom was too fast. The Pig family watched in horror. They were trapped. Venom burst into the house, his tentacles smashing furniture. He was unstoppable, his fury boundless. The Pig family scattered in different directions, trying to hide. Venom pursued them, his roar filling the house. It was a true nightmare. Mummy Pig, trying to protect the children, grabbed a frying pan. She was full of determination, her eyes burning. She swung the frying pan, preparing for battle. Venom approached, his shadow looming over her. Mummy Pig was ready to fight. Suddenly, a chef emerged from the kitchen, his white hat askew. He was tall and thin, his eyes insane. In his hands, he held a huge cleaver from which blood dripped. The chef let out a terrifying laugh, his voice piercing. He looked very sinister. The chef, ignoring Venom, lunged at Spider-Man. His cleaver flashed in the air. Spider-Man tried to dodge, but was too weak. The chef was possessed, his movements fast and precise. It was a terrible sight. Venom, seeing the chef, froze for a moment, his black mass still. He was surprised. His eyes widened. The chef was an unexpected turn. Venom slowly retreated, his roar quieter. He did not expect such a turn of events. The lost Peppa Pig episode that never aired. Peppa Pig's house was enveloped in an unusual silence. Gloomy shadows danced on the walls, creating ominous patterns. Peppa and George played in their room, where a bunk bed stood against the wall, George on the bottom, Peppa on top. Suddenly, a strange, distorted sound emanated from the old speakers. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig froze, listening to the growing noise. The sound grew louder, penetrating every room of the house. The speakers began to glow with an eerie red light. Peppa and George felt an inexplicable fear. The speakers pulsed, emitting a piercing wail. The pig family watched the speakers in horror. Suddenly, the speakers exploded, leaving only silence. The pig family remained in shock, realizing what had happened. The silence was deafening, but now it seemed even more ominous. The lost Peppa Pig episode that never aired. A sunny day illuminated Peppa Pig's house, filling it with familiar laughter. Peppa and George played in their room, where a bunk bed stood against the wall. George below, Peppa above. Mummy Pig cooked in the kitchen, and Daddy Pig read the newspaper in the living room. Everything was as usual, but a slight, almost imperceptible tension hung in the air. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Susie Sheep stood on the doorstep, but her gaze was unusually empty, and her movements stiff. She didn't smile as always, nor did she jump with joy. Peppa, George, Mummy Pig, and Daddy Pig went for a picnic by the lake. The water was dark and still, reflecting the gloomy sky. They spread their blanket, but the air was heavy, foreshadowing something ominous. In the distance, an old, abandoned boat was visible, its outline appearing sinister. George pointed at the boat, his eyes filled with curiosity and fear. Peppa felt a chill, but curiosity prevailed. They approached closer. The boat creaked in the wind. Something stirred inside the boat, making strange sounds. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig felt uneasy. Suddenly, Spider-Man leaped out of the boat, his suit torn, his gaze full of terror. Venom followed him, his black mass pulsating, absorbing the light. Venom extended tentacles towards Peppa, her heart frozen with fear. Spider-Man stood in defense, but Venom was too strong. The boat began to sway, threatening to engulf everyone. The pig family rushed to flee, escaping the horror. They ran without looking back until the boat disappeared from sight. At home, they couldn't sleep for a long time, remembering the terrifying encounter. The lesson was learned: not all adventures end well.